I'm over here with Wade Skywalker killing Yinglings.
Yingling, the now official beer of the WGAF podcast. Yingling, fucking sponsor this podcast for the love of God. Can somebody please sponsor this podcast? We'll be killing Yinglings.
You know, I now remember that show you used to watch, Attack on Titan, after seeing the name and I'm like, was it just an alcoholic that made that? And be like, Lager, Jaeger.
Yeah, yeah, Aaron. Jaeger. Jägermeister. We can't call him Jägermeister, Jeff. You know this.
You can't call
Quit trying to sneak
Lingling or Lingling, whatever. Yinglings.
Yeah. You can't keep sneaking alcohol brands into it. Why not? Why? How else are we going to do this cross-promotion stuff? Nobody wants to cross-promote with you, Philip. You're drunk.
We let you name the character after an alcohol beverage.
Right.
You just can't call him Meister, okay?
Yeah. I'm just sick of what I hate is the rigmarole I have to go through to get any kind of Yingling, because technically, right, this is an East Coast beer brand, and it for the longest time would not ship past the Mississippi. It like, for some reason, it ended there, and now all of a sudden it's available in Missouri. And it's because Missouri has zero fucking laws for whatever goddamn reason. I think you can just do whatever you want in Missouri.
Well, I'll tell you what, down here in Missouri, we just get whatever we want. This is basically like prohibition booze. We just take our hands into whatever we can get.
This is Missouri. We got Yingling,
Missouri.
We got weed, and we got 3 Super Bowls, because Patrick Mahomes got it. Okay. We get what we want here, Missouri.
Hell no, we won't test his wife's children. They're his.
It has something to do with Iowa's fucking goofy-ass laws and stuff. Because I think at one point they tried to bring Yingling here, but due to distribution.
Why was I thinking it was a Ling? Like, I even said it earlier.
Well, because you're obsessed with that panda. You're just always
say.
thinking about that panda that won't fuck. You're just like, ooh, that prude fucking panda.
Oh, man. He's potent.
Yeah, that Ling panda, she's just got her skirt all tucked in so you can't get up underneath that denim.
He hasn't fucked in so long, it's now a polar bear.
Yeah, Yingling the Baptist panda. It's hard to get up that denim skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why, Nathan. You're obsessed with a panda that won't fuck.
That's okay.
Yeah. But
you just
yeah,
haven't
there's some
watched
kind
porn like all the other pandas. That's my favorite statistic they do. We just have them watch panda porn and hope they get in the mood.
And they've just created more incel pandas. Why would I go try when it's right here and I can just get what I want?
She doesn't do
because
any
you
of
don't
that.
have any thumbs.
You see that? She doesn't back it up.
Right. I just think it's funny that they're showing pandas porn, thinking that's going to get them horny. But I don't even think the bears are motivated that way. The whole thing is to breed, right?
I think it is, but isn't it? I think they're playing the long game, because if they don't do anything, they just get a human to come in there to jerk them off so they can artificially inseminate somebody. So I think they're playing the long game. Like, if I sit here, I get a happy ending.
That is true. Are pandas just gaming the system?
Yes.
Are they just using zoo welfare in order to get free housing and food?
Yeah.
So they can get jerked off?
That is a great. You know what? Now that I think about that process, the way I think about that process is this. We need to get rid of sperm banks and be like, you want artificial insemination, so you need to go pick a guy to jerk off, collect it all, and you know what to do.
My favorite thing about this is how every time it seems that there's a sperm bank around, there's just some doctor who's fucking filling his vials full of his jizz and putting it in women. It seems to always devolve into that.
Well, what it is the many people that derive from Genghis Khan, or Genghis Khan, if you want to say it correctly, but it's more fun to say Genghis Khan. That's where the profession led them. They're like, you know what, I can't take over anything anymore, but I can control this.
Yes.
And I will still have all the children.
You will still fear the Huns! Oh, you start doing Mongolian throat singing.
I mean, that might work. Hey, Have you zoologists tried that on the pandas?
I just think the sperm bank thing is so weird, and we've covered it in an episode long ago. In a
Yeah, we're not
galaxy
smart
far, far
enough to
away.
use any in California.
No, and that's what I find funny is it's always like people who are trying to get a quick buck who try to go to sperm babes, and then they're just like, "You're not good enough," and it's like, "Well, who do you want? We want this Fortune 500 CEO. We want the 1% sperm,"
Which is hilarious because they don't use it; they use the doctors.
Yeah. What are they doing with that guy's sperm then?
Oh, he's trying to create ultra sperm, so he swallows that, and then he's like, it processes in my body to make mega sperm.
I drink all the cummies, and then they mix inside my body, creating the Super Saiyan sperm.
So you guys, every video you see, if you put it under a microscope, you see millions of life forms in those sperms. But me, all of that is one sperm that comes out. It is a super sperm.
Yeah.
It looks like a mortar shell coming out of his pee hole.
Right. That's just got to be so devastating to walk into a fertility clinic like that to try to donate sperm.
And know it's a family
because you
reunion?
Need 50,
oh.
But you need $50, and they're just like, "Nah, dude, you're still a fucking loser. Like, get the fuck out."
Yeah.
That's actually the first question. It's like, how bad do you need $50? Real bad. Well, you're fucking out. Get the hell out of here, loser.
Yeah, you're creating dependence that we don't want.
Right. It's fucking great. Yeah, but
really
the pandas
is.
are definitely gaming the system. I think you're right about that.
I think so. I mean, let's be honest. If we could all sit around and do nothing and it forces somebody to come give us a rub and tug, I mean, you're winning at life.
I mean, they're trying to create that for humans now.
They're close. They're real close.
They're real close.
Unfortunately, as much as America wants to be like, we're number one, I think you're going to have to settle for 6 because I'm pretty sure, I don't know it's a neck and neck race. It's between China and Korea as to who's creating the first glorious robot that's human-like.
Oh, it's definitely going to be China. I feel
Okay,
like
you
they're
think?
leaps and bounds ahead of us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And Korea's right there, though. They've made
But not only that, Nathan. I think
I would
China's
say
going to make
Japan,
baby making
but they're
robots.
still they're making like cool robots that you can pilot and fly in space.
Yeah, yeah. They know how to pilot your dick.
They're making Gundams, dude, that rule.
Yeah.
You want to fuck a robot or you want to fly and fight with one?
Yeah. That's such a hard toss up.
Right?
Can I have both? No, you have to pick one.
Damn it.
Damn it. No, I think China's going to create the one that has a robot that'll actually spit out a kid later, too.
So it just have like a vat in its stomach.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do with all of these like eggs that are like women are harvesting. You know how like there's a lot of people doing where women are freezing their eggs now?
Mm-hmm.
Like a ton of women are doing that. And apparently it's very common.
Let's
where
be honest.
women...
They're doing that anyways. As long as the temperature in the house is under 70, those eggs are frozen. I need a blanket to warm them back up.
Yeah, somehow women's eggs are defying the laws of physics and freeze at 72 degrees.
Foot's out of the blanket, eggs are frozen, can't do it tonight. Shit.
How did the human race survive the Ice Age? Women should have died out.
A woolly mammoth got stuck in a fence.
But all of those girls doing like the egg freezing, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, apparently it's very common, and I think it's probably because you have to inject yourself with hormones. That's what they're doing, is basically creating like a false pregnancy at the beginning, which jacks up their hormones and then makes them drop eggs, and that's how they can harvest them, right? So I think there's an abundance of them because
so
then
they just need to
after
pretend they're going to lose their significant other, and then the eggs drop.
What?
What?
I don't get your logic at all. That didn't make any sense to me.
A false pregnancy.
Oh, gotcha. Pretend the marriage is over.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, and then the eggs drop. But apparently what happens is that, they go in and give all these eggs, right? They get them after they do their their whole thing, and then they end up getting pregnant naturally afterwards, and it's probably because they have a bunch of hormones in their body still or whatever. So there's all these women who have a ton of eggs frozen, so there's just an abundance of them. So that's where China is going to come in and be like, we'll buy those eggs and we're going to put them in robots, and now we're going to get dudes to come in robots and repopulate China. Let's go, because we have way too many dudes now.
I've always wondered, when did the word hormones get invented? Because I feel like if you went back, I don't know, to cowboy era, like late 1800s, early 1900s, and you said that word, you got a lot of happy dudes like, where we going?
Yeah. Hormones. I've been looking for a stable of hormones in for a long time. This cowboy sure is lonely. The concept of hormones were introduced in 1894 by Claude Barnum. Burnham, sorry, I read that wrong.
You know there's a bunch of cowboys hearing that for the first time, be like, yes, they do.
They say we're full of hormones, but the only place I've ever seen filled with hormones is the whorehouse.
In the back of a Chevy Silverado.
Like a rock. Oh, like a rock.
I forget that guy's name, but that's all the voice I see you doing.
Oh, Sam Elliott. That's who I'm doing. Yeah. And I wash it down with an ice cold Yingling.
It's like, I only picture him as like some, like, little downtrodden cowboy, a sheriff from Tombstone, or he's Roadhouse. He's Wade from Roadhouse.
You ever have some nerd come up to you talking about hormones, and the only hormones you know are the ones you're banging out back by the porta potty?
The only hormones you know are the reason you have syphilis.
It's eating away at your brain because penicillin hasn't been invented yet.
And powdered wigs are going out of style.
These 10-gallon hats are the only thing covering what's left of your patchy rug on top.
Speaking of patchy, the Apaches have taken our land.
It's hard to scalp a man who's got bald spots.
Unwanted goods.
Not much of a trophy on the top of the old shelf. Male pattern baldness in the Wild West was actually a gift from God because it kept you from being a trophy.
Do you think you got, like, okay, before you got scalped and if you were patchy like that from syphilis, do you think they actually made fun of you before they did it? They're just like,
his dick's dripping. Cut his head off. Now you're dripping from both ends.
Oh shit!
Just just Indians punking you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that maybe, I don't know. I don't even think anybody knew what syphilis was back then.
No,
it burned while you peed. And then, like, I'll look up that next, but I wanted to read the rest of this. So,
okay.
He proclaimed that chemical messages were secreted by glands and traveled through the bloodstream to regulate the organs. The first hormone was identified and isolated in 1902 by William Wallace. And William Wallace. My hormones give me freedom!
You can now find me at all four corners.
What's really funny about hormones, right? Just because the way science works to start out with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is everything always starts out as, we discovered hormones in men. And guess what? Women don't have any because they're not good enough to have hormones. And then as science went on, they're like, oh, fuck, we got that backwards.
So it turns out we have what are known as blockers in men.
Yeah.
we got a fierce defensive line against hormones.
I like to take a thing called beta blockers, making sure I keep my temperament real cool. Making sure I keep my feelings pushed way down. Never let them out, cowpoke. Yeah, they found secretion was released into the bloodstream and responded to acidic food. Well, that's how they figured it out. Interesting. What was the next thing you asked me about before I was going to look that up? Syphilis. Oh, when gonorrhea was found, right? Or syphilis. Were we talking about syphilis? We talking about syphilis and gonorrhea.
I mean, kind of close. I feel like they're neck and neck on the podium finish.
Okay. Nathan, how do you spell syphilis? I don't even know. Which is a good thing. It's probably good that I don't know how to spell it.
It's probably like SY something. I think. I don't know.
It's with a PH. There it is. Yeah, you got it.
It was
SY?
Right.
It was SYPH. I had that part, and then it filled it in. And then Google was like, we got it, you moron. We also will tell you the symptoms, you fucking pervert.
I mean, I could have done pure dork on you, like, name and origin. Can you use it in a sentence?
The exact date of syphilis discovery is unknown. The first recorded outbreak occurred in Europe in 1494 to 1495.
What is that? That's the fucking like Dark Ages.
Yeah, right. Is that when that is? I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll look that up too.
The Dark Ages?
Yeah, when were the Dark Ages? When
the Dark Ages were called the Dark Ages because STDs ran rampant with no treatment.
Everybody was going blind. That's why it was so dark.
Yeah. Thou hast slept in too many whores, so you lost your sight due to God's wrath.
Yeah. No, the dark. Oh, wow. Dark Ages is a term for early Middle Ages in Western Europe, roughly spanning from the fall of the Roman Empire in 476 EC.
Shit.
Way
late.
Beginning of the Renaissance in the 15th century.
So I'm way late. Oh, damn.
Is that way late?
Well, when did you say originally? When it started?
1494 is when it.
Okay, so it was around.
Okay. Yeah, so it was like. Yeah,
you know what? Okay, so they found.
Is that how the century works? I always forget how the centuries work.
Centuries, 100 years.
Okay, so yeah, so they would have been around then. That's when it would have been covered in the 14th century.
It's funny because the Golden Age started, and I'm just. No knowledge. This is just my thought process. I'm going to guess penicillin was invented, and they're like, Golden Age!
Yeah.
Our dicks are staying on our body.
In 1905, a German scientist, Fritz Schermerdick, I swear to God.
Franz Fernandez.
Shermandin. Okay. Shermandin, I think is how you say it. I don't know. Yes. Why are German names so fucking hard to say?
Dude, Germans have some great fucking ways of saying things, though.
Yes, they do. And Erich Hoffman identified a bacteria that causes syphilis. In 1910, Japanese scientist Secreto Hata developed the first effective treatment for syphilis, salvarina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Salvarsan. Salvarsan?
Sure. Silver sand.
Silver sand. It was just an early antibiotic used to cure syphilis. Dude, Japan. Good on you, Japan. You're always looking out for everybody.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I always think it's funny that penicillin was accidentally found. That's a complete mistake.
Really?
Yeah, because it comes from like mold.
Okay.
They were doing an experiment. And they found that's how they found penicillin was from. I think they were doing an experiment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the doctor or the scientist, but they didn't close the jar right, so it developed and cultured bacteria. And then when they looked at the bacteria, that's how they discovered penicillin. It all happened because somebody fucked up.
Gotcha.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I mean,
we'd all have itchy dicks right now if it wasn't for somebody fucking up, which is what I tell my fiance anytime I screw up. You know, sometimes mistakes lead to great things. I wanted that on a t-shirt. Sometimes mistakes lead to great things.
It could be a Treppenwitz, which is German for a staircase joke.
A Streppenwitch is a staircase joke?
Treppenwitz.
Treppenwitch is a staircase joke.
Yeah, it's literal
Is that
translation.
all about
staircase
abortions?
We're not going to go into that.
Give her a Treppenwitch.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's funny. Oh, well,
Or
look at us learning a bunch of stuff.
Kummerspeck, which means grief bacon.
Grief bacon?
Yeah.
Kummerspeck?
Kummerspeck.
Kummerspeck. Grief
Kummerspeck.
bacon.
Grief. It means grief bacon. What the fuck is that?
Honestly, though, that's what we need to start doing at funerals. Fuck coming in with a card and flowers. Bring me a fucking thing of bacon.
Or
I'm sorry for your loss.
Auf den Keks gehen, which means to go on the cookie. I'm just reading like.
These are just, what'd you just type in? Random words?
Yeah.
Random German words? These are just. That's so specific.
It is.
Grief bacon is fantastic, though. I think that's a custom we definitely need to adopt here in the U.S. Grief bacon is
that's right.
where it's at.
Du bist Zucker. You are sugar.
How do you say that again?
Du bist Zucker.
Du bist Zucker.
Yeah.
Why is it every time you sound so aggressive? Anything you say in German,
It
du
is.
bist Zucker. You are sugar.
Oh, what is it? Leben wie Gott in Frankreich, which is to live like God in France. I don't know where that statement came from.
I don't know. Is there a quote next to that? It's actually no. It's been erased. There's a literal eraser mark on my computer.
It's Kinderkram. Child's play.
Yeah, I can't wait. I hope somebody who is from Germany and speaks German is listening to us say this stuff and is just like, these guys have no idea what they're saying right now. This is not what's on that website. We're just saying we're just saying a bunch of hate speech.
But no, dude. Speaking of crazy things with STDs, there's a janitor that got 6 years in jail because he peed in the water cooler and water bottles and infected coworkers with STDs.
Damn, dude. Is this why all sport got kicked out of schools and you don't see it around anymore?
Too much extra credit.
Oh man. Yeah, that's why you don't see that anymore. But
Yeah.
damn, that in water bottles? Like the student athlete water bottles?
It doesn't say, well, it says coworkers. It doesn't say anything about students.
If you're a coworker and you bring your water bottle to work, who's leaving that unattended long enough for someone to pee?
Okay, he was a janitor at a hospital.
No. I don't know why I thought this was a school.
It's because that's where your mind goes, and mine too. When the first thing I hear is janitor, I'm like, school.
Yeah. I guess that is true. Because the janitor plays a very, critical role in,
Spreading
the
STDs.
school experience. Yeah. Spreading STDs. Yeah.
He's like
That's how you find
Santa for
out.
grief.
Yeah. And there's no bacon he's handing out, let me tell you. You're baking for him to stop fucking you. That's what's always funny to me is how often they used to tell us the janitor's the creepy guy. Your janitor's creepy, but it's always nowadays it's always the teachers who are fucking students.
It is.
It's never the janitor.
Dude, the janitors I've known are fucking cool, and they have these crazy
they were the
stories.
best.
They have the craziest stories, and they're like, and that's why I'm a janitor. That's why it's like, yeah, this was really all that was open because I was doing all this other crazy shit.
Right. Yeah, I bummed a few cigarettes off of school janitors in my day. Hey, Clint, you got a butt for me?
Yeah, nowadays that'd be called grooming.
Yeah. I thought it was just being cool as fuck.
My favorite is there was a coworker in here and asked why the water inside was yellow. At that point, the employee took a whiff and smells like pee, and then he took a sip. I'm sorry. Houston medical office workers, what are you doing?
Yeah. This smells like the sample I asked for earlier. Gonorrhea, like I thought. Yep, this patient definitely has gonorrhea.
His next Google, can you get gonorrhea by drinking said gonorrhea?
Yeah. No, they did not teach me this in med school. Not in the textbook, because apparently there wasn't an asterisk that said,
Guys!
Don't ingest deadly stuff, you dumbass.
I found it. It was in an idiot's guide to STDs. Found it. Don't drink urine.
Don't ingest urine of an infected patient. Apparently that's supposed to be obvious to everybody. Everybody else know that except me.
Because it's not in my medical book, but it's in this idiot book.
Gonorrhea on my face, I guess. Dude, the janitor, like, he must have, somebody wronged him, or he just got way into watching Scrubs and was like, oh, that janitor just took care of all the doctors and pulled pranks on him. I got a prank.
So I feel like the judge was a little vindictive with one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he got 7 people. So 7 counts of aggravated assault.
One for each deadly sin.
As
That's
well,
how he was peeing in there.
And here's where I'm like, the judge is like a little vindictive here. Single count of indecent assault.
A single count of indecent assault?
Yeah. You didn't do it well enough.
Yeah.
Like, what? Or did he get caught with his tea bag in the cup? Like, what's going on here?
Oh, man. This is how I want to know how malicious it is, right? So he gave them STDs by peeing in the... Did he go out and get an STD just to pee in people's bottles?
The people in here, the water she got from the water dispenser had a funny taste and smell to it. Why would you drink it? Because you smell it before it even hits your lips.
This is why I only get my water from home.
Yes.
Never. I don't
trust it coming out of the sink. I've seen too many times where it's like, local water cleaning facility has been contaminated due to an outbreak with a flood or exo whatever reason you want to put in.
The whole water boil situation?
And it's like, no, I'm not going to drink any of that. Yeah. You psychopaths.
I've boiled water before.
That's like that'd be like, why are all these people crazy in downtown L.A.? Oh, they're drinking the flood water that goes down the gates. That's just pure drugs.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, that's why you don't trust those coolers. Like, anytime we go golfing and you see the coolers out on the golf course, I'm like, nope. Because you know who set those out? The fucking cart boys, the punk-ass cart boys that are there for just that summer. You don't think they fuck with the water sometimes? Somebody gets a wild hair up their ass and he goes, I'm just going to pee in this today.
Yeah.
You can't trust any of that stuff.
The judge did credit the guy for 2 years of time served for exemplary behavior.
Oh, so he recently got out then after this?
No, he just got...
they gave him 6, but automatically took off 2?
Yeah.
It's because, you know why? Because that judge saw him out back and was like, can I bum a cigarette? He's like, yeah, you're all right, Phil. You're all right. Never tell you about the time I cleaned up chili dog puke day? Those kids were vomited everywhere. It's because I peed in that, too.
You ever wonder what it's like to put 16 little deals of just antacids and diarrhea pills into the brownies you made? People are so confused.
Judge, I think jail's going to be pretty good for me. I think I'm going to learn a lot. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a kitchen job. I'm going to be the one making the iced tea every day
treat
for the
fellas.
fellas.
Oh, that's laxative. I didn't mean it. I thought that was a Hershey.
I don't know if you know this, Doc, man. But I make a mean Arnold Palmer.
It's all homemade.
Fresh squeeze. I think all the other inmates are going to really appreciate it.
You got to push out every last drop.
Yeah. You really got to squeeze the base of the lemon. Get that.
Oh.
And you want to make sure you get a little pulp in there.
Oh, God. That's how you know it's super effective.
Oh man,
Meanwhile, the judge is the doctor that's presiding over the sperm bank. He's like, I'll tell all my kids.
Yeah, yeah. That's a fucking wild story. I also just don't get why the judge. Where did he get? Was he already in holding or something, and he showed good behavior, and that's why they knocked off? It doesn't make sense.
Had to have been.
Or was this one of those old COVID cases where like they all got put on the back burner? So many people spent so much time in jail longer than they needed to because they couldn't get a fucking court date because of the whole fiasco with COVID.
It's the worst. This is actually worse. They all got herpes.
Oh, they got herpes, not gonorrhea? I thought it said gonorrhea originally.
Well, it just says STDs. We just kind of went on a tangent of what we thought.
They got herpes?
So, they got herpes. Now, herpes of the mouth is one thing. A lot of people get it by kissing and stuff. But to know you got it from a guy's beanbag is just debilitating.
Right. Which, now this makes even more sense in a lot of ways because getting herpes is pretty easy. Getting gonorrhea, I feel like, is kind of hard.
I think it's more of a fluid situation.
Herpes just seems like it's out there more. Isn't it like 1 in 5 people have herpes?
Something like that.
Yeah, like
because I mean, if you get a cold sore, that's considered herpes.
Yeah, so he could have just had some lady chewing on his beanbag one day, and all of a sudden he's got herpes. God, that would suck, wouldn't it?
Ooh.
The one time you get somebody to play with your balls, and they happen to just have a cold sore that day.
Just falling to his knees like a dramatic movie. No!
You are an angry god!
I wonder if that was actually this thing that spurred it on is like, well, if I'm going to have it, everybody's going to have it.
Yeah, no. That's his villain arc story.
Yeah.
That's the joke. Remember the Joker in the Michael Keaton Batman when he gets the mirror? It's his at his doctor, he shows him his balls like with the mirror and he's like now you all pay.
I mean, you're not far off.
No. Apparently 3.8 billion people under the age of 50 globally have herpes simplex virus 1, while 520 million people ages 15 to 49 have herpes simplex virus type 2. Which translate to 64% of the population under 50 has herpes virus 1.
See, and it's reasons like that you go, I see why they quit playing Russian roulette with guns, because now you do it with your dick.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, World Health Organization right here, just scroll down, 1 in 5 adults worldwide have genital herpes infection. That's why I never hang out in groups of 5, because then there's no way any of us could ever have herpes. That's how numbers work, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And if you do get 5, you have to draw straws and be like, you!
You got herpes today, Dale.
Got treated like
rub
a black
this on
sheep.
your balls. You're going to have to go out with herpes on your dick. Oh, man.
Who has it? The one wearing talcum powder right now.
Yeah. Do you smell Gold Bond in the air?
He doesn't play sports.
You just got to get down dick levels, lady. If you smell Gold Bond, shit's going raw down there.
And it's more than likely not chafing.
If you all of a sudden from somebody's trouser hear, boom, tough acting to acting, just know.
There's big plays going on there.
Do not use Tinactin to fucking fight ball disease, by the way. That's antifungal, you guys.
Yeah, don't do that. Use icy hot. But going
fight fire with fire.
Yeah. Speaking of jail time, there's a 40-year-old dude in Ventura County in California, and he's facing life in prison for residential robbery because he committed it while wearing his ankle monitor for house arrest, which is really cool. So, because I was thinking about this, the logistics of it is, were cops ever called? Or were cops immediately tailing him when he left his house and just like, let's just see what happens? Yeah, he's breaking in. Let's wait for him to get inside. At what point do people? Because I don't know how these work. Like, I don't know that. Like, there's a distance you can leave your house.
Right.
So at what point does it notify anybody? And how slow are you to respond? This dude can just be like, He was captured for 2 additional burglaries late last year.
Okay.
So
that's why he was originally on that.
Yeah.
So I just typed into Google because I wanted to know how, because I'm interested in this too. How do they track it? Ankle monitors or track individuals utilizing GPS and all that stuff. But I want to know how often they're checking it. Like, who's checking ankle monitors? Yeah.
I mean, you have a GPS tracking, so it'd be pretty obvious, I think. Be like, he doesn't live there.
Yeah. That gentleman seems like he's out of place.
Yeah.
Okay, in cases of house arrest or parole or probation, ankle monitors are typically monitored by probation officers or parole officers, or by designated monitoring agencies that alert the surveying officer of any potential violations. Wait, so what's a... Whoa, wait. There's a monitoring agency? I want to know what that is, a monitoring agency.
It's just a bunch of lizards.
Yeah.
No wonder it didn't get called in.
Some jurisdictions are specialized agencies that provide electronic monitoring services that are responsible for collecting and transmitting data of the ankle monitor. That's why, Nathan, there's fucking third parties. There's a goddamn slowdown in the process of letting somebody know.
Okay.
How many people do you think are on house arrest at one given point?
I don't know. You'd have to find out how many people have ADT stickers. He was 2 blocks away, just on a leisurely stroll away from his
Well, maybe that's why they
abode.
didn't. Maybe that's why they didn't want to they didn't want to call him in at first. They thought maybe just it's glitching out. You know, that's actually the perfect way to do that, because you could be like, I don't know, it's glitching. I'm at home.
Yeah, my GPS often yo-yos to other people's houses inside.
Yeah. And isn't he breaking the number 1 rule of being a criminal when you steal, and that's don't shit where you eat?
I don't think that rule truly applies.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
Damn.
I think if you really like your neighbor's shit, it becomes your shit.
Oh, dude, you want to take a fucking stab at how many people you think were on house arrest in the year 2022?
2022. Oh. I'm going to say half of the OnlyFans subscribers.
Well, you're wrong, Nathan. It was the entire population. It was lockdowns, COVID lockdowns.
Shit.
No, in 2022, nearly 500,000 people were on electronic monitoring, a 10-fold increase from 2005.
Damn.
And that's probably because the prison system's a little overpopulated. Some state programs having thousands of offenders under house arrest daily. Damn, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a wild statistic. That's a lot of people on house arrest. That's
just a few.
Just a few, yeah.
Just knocking back a couple.
How many people are on house arrest in Iowa? Let's check that out.
Oh, it's all due to drunk driving.
Yeah.
It's all people that have those little kazoos in their car to start it.
Yeah.
Hum a little ditty.
Oh, they don't have specific stats on that here in Iowa. Although there are apparently at the end of 2022, 8.5 thousand people at the end or in prison. So
Huh.
that doesn't seem that much. That seems pretty low.
Yeah, well,
Eighth.
we might have
Anyway.
might have another person to join those prison numbers though.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy who he's getting life because he broke. That's crazy that he's getting life, though, for. I guess that's only 35 years, right? And that I learned this recently because they say life in prison. It makes it sound like you're there until you die, but it's only 35 years. Isn't that the whole deal?
Yeah, I think so.
Life
yeah.
in prison doesn't mean life in prison, I don't think.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It's yeah,
I'll look it up, though.
They say life in prison, and they mean like, hey, you got life in prison. We'll see you in 17 years when you get out early.
Yeah, our punting game Google search is not going to look too well today. Syphilis, ankle monitors, life in prison.
Type in how to escape prison.
Yeah.
Complete the circuit.
A life sentence in prison depends on the jurisdiction in which it happens. Serving the rest of one's natural life in prison or serving a minimum term can be
Deadly in
eligible
Turkey.
for parole. Okay, so I was wrong. Oh, life sentence is possible. Oh, with the possibility of parole, is sentence is possible release with a minimum term, typically 25 years, and then you can go on parole.
Oh,
And then if it's life in prison without parole, you're just there the rest of your life.
gotcha. Huh.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I knew it was I thought it was 35, not 25, but that makes sense.
Okay.
I guess that's
It's
why
even
they call it
less.
25 to life, right? Because if you get
okay,
parole,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Netflix might have somebody going in there soon too, though. There's a director that was arrested for $11 million in fraud, which he did it smart. He didn't spend his money in a way that would draw attention. He only got 5 Rolls Royces and 1 Ferrari. Just nothing major.
Why I just don't get why people buy cool cars to begin with. What is 1 Rolls Royce is enough. What do you need 5 for? What's the fucking point?
Dude, you want to hear this? Okay, this is the alleged scheme that he did.
Mm-hmm.
This is beautiful because line 1 blows it all up. Transferred the money to his personal account. We don't need to. Why? There's more.
No lie.
There's 7 more steps after this. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
you
we
needed
got
more
him.
evidence that this guy was fucking up.
He put $11 million. Well, that's not enough to get him. Okay, we got a couple more.
Just financial accountants okay. I mean,
Okay.
that's not that bad.
Now the last 2, and I'll work my way up to them, are just a chef's kiss for what I think I would do if I was rich.
Okay.
But starting from the top here, he transferred the money to his personal accounts, engaged in high-risk financial trading, including cryptocurrency and stock options, standard above the board there, but for theft. Lost over half the funds within 2 months of receiving them, standard for theft. Spent $2.4 million on the 5 Rolls Royces and the Ferrari. Spent
That's only,
3.
that only cost $2.5 million to get those 3 cars or those 5 cars.
6.
6 cars, I guess.
6.
I thought Rolls Royce were half a band.
I thought they were, yeah.
I thought they were way
He
more.
spent $3.7 million on furniture and antiques. So right there, that just screams, I want to be Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Then he spent $652,000 on watches and clothing. So you got to look good if you're stealing money.
Yep.
Spent $630. Here we are in the fun ones. $638,000 on 2 luxury mattresses. These better be water beds, just filled with flecks of gold.
It's actually filled with just his cum.
For when he starts his own sperm bank.
Yes, exactly. I know a doctor in Venice who told me this is where he keeps his.
That's where he told me all about it while he was spitting my blood.
Yeah.
And then he spent $300,000 on luxury bedding and linens.
Well, it is where you spend an eighth of your life, Nathan. So I do get that.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I would do if I was rich. And they would be like extra long beds so I could treat it. I'd get silk sheets for I'd get basically a custom made king that was 2 of them put together lengthwise. just get a custom silk sheet so I could treat my bed like a fucking water slide to go to bed. Just jump in and slide up and just, yeah.
I also want it that big so I can power bomb any bitch I bring home.
That's right. I have a custom bed the size and square footage of the WWF wrestling ring, complete with the ropes.
If you don't think I'm hitting a fucking WWE entrance every time I'm coming into the bedroom.
Babe, come in here. I'm so close to getting Jeff Hardy's finishing move. Watch this.
I am a
Did Jeff Hardy go?
American.
Did Matt Hardy ever go off the top? I can't remember. I know Jeff did.
Oh, yeah. I think Matt did, too.
I thought he was just the dork that was like, step on my back.
No, I think he went off the top rope a couple times, too.
They're
both known for the Swanton Bomb.
I know, but I just remember him doing the, jump off my back. Huh?
Yeah.
He was basically a step stool, literally.
Well, he was the most sturdy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So is this why Netflix's fucking account went up to like $20 a month now?
I think because this is actually, they're not telling you this. So like, hey, dude, we're going to let you be rich. You can live it up for about 5 years. I don't know when. Yeah. Let's see. According to court documents, he received $44 to produce his sci-fi series White Horse in 2018. Okay, so it started in 2018. I bet they're like, hey, we're going to give you this money. Have fun. We are going to fuck your life up in 2025, so we're going to give you a solid 7 years. Live it up. Why are we letting you do this? We're going to make a movie about you.
Right. They're just, dude, I'm telling you, they're creating their own content.
Yeah, this is like the new Narcos, but it's Netflix creating their own crime.
What was his show you said?
It was called White Horse, his sci-fi series in 2018. And then in 2019, he requested an additional $11 million, which Netflix is like, yeah, of course you need more money.
Yeah. Oh, man, of course. Dude, this guy, and like what sucks is his TV show. That's a Legend of White Horse. I don't want the Legend of White Horse. No, it's Pale Horse. I want to know. It's called White Horse, right?
What? Yeah, it's called White Horse. This is the same director that made my favorite new B movie that I bought recently, 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves. He directed that. It is hands down one of my favorite. It should be. They made it like it was going to be this huge blockbuster, and it is just a great B movie.
Just a piece of trash.
It's great, dude.
Okay. See, I want to know what this. I want to know what the like scoring of this White Horse show is. Because is it worth it? That's what I want to know.
No chance.
Yeah, that's what, because I've never even heard of this. It must. Is it called The Legend of White Horse?
It just says White Horse, sci-fi series White Horse in 2018. Just type in like White Horse Netflix.
I typed that in, but I went try to go to Rotten Tomatoes, and it's not like finding it.
Oh, that'd be great. They're like, we spent all this money and we canned it.
Right.
Yeah.
2000 Messenger of the White Horse. It just like I can't even find it. They've just scrubbed it from that.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? Netflix is that kind of shitty thing, too, that they'd call up the people from Rotten Tomatoes and be like, take it down. We don't want people flame bombing reviews of this
The
show.
hilarious part is the final sentence that he posted his $100,000 bail, which, let's be honest, Netflix paid it. Unwillingly, but they paid it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's... Dude, we just canceled our Netflix. We're done with that fucking shit, dude. $20 a month for ad-free stuff. That was their whole selling point. The whole time was the fact that they didn't have ads, and that's why people liked it. And now they're just butt-fucking us all.
Oh, for the no ads?
Yeah.
Everything's got ads now. That's why I start buying movies again. I'm like, fuck this.
I know.
I'll just
I'm
buy
not
my
doing
own
this
movies
shit anymore. Yeah, I'd rather and for $20 a month, every month I could go buy a new movie. That's about what comes out on Netflix each month anyway.
By the way, heads up, they're re-releasing Tombstone this month.
I already have it on VHS.
Okay. VHS. I got the original cut.
What's up, dude? You tell him Wyatt Earp's coming and hell's coming with him, brother. Oh, God. Tombstone on VHS. You ever love watching a movie with the graininess and the color coordination of a classic?
You ever
film
like
strip?
watching movies where your VCR might turn into the Cookie Monster and eat your beloved tape?
There's nothing like the thrill of possibly losing one of your favorite films to a machine that wants to destroy your happiness.
And I'm not talking about Terminator.
He didn't come all this way to kill Sarah Connor. He came all this way to eat my VHS copy of Tombstone.
I don't even know where you can find those. You have to go 2 blocks away and rob somebody in your neighborhood. That's all that guy was doing. He's just like,
yeah.
I just needed another movie.
Netflix is too expensive, man. I need to borrow a movie.
I thought this was Hollywood Video. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all that there's like people. Netflix is so big now that there's, of course, a lot of fraud got to be going on, right? Like, there had to be Blockbuster fraud going on at the end of that retail business, right?
They're charging so much if you forgot the fucking movie with those late fees. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And God forbid you got late fees on video games. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, they did not fuck around on the video game things.
Oh, you know who else isn't fucking around on video games right now? What state in particular?
Who?
Texas. Because the video game of just diddling yourself has got way more complicated because now they need a photo ID.
What? How do you have to present your ID to jack off?
Yeah, you got to present your ID to buy sex toys online. Which, let's be honest, only psychopaths are buying them in person, where you have to look somebody that has to ring it up with shame in your eyes, and they look down and going, God damn, you're a freak.
Right. Well, that's how you always used to have to buy sex toys, right? Is you go to a shop and
Sex
you have
toys
to present ID.
or porn mags.
Yeah.
It was awful. You're just like, yeah, man, you know what's about to happen.
Yeah, we need to see that ID so we can know where you live, so we can stay as far away from possible from it.
We need to know which house is being painted tonight.
Right. That'd be a sick cover for a dad who's actually a pervert. He's like, no, Bethany, I hang out at the sex shop to make sure I know what perverts are going in there so my kids stay away from them.
That's why I took the job there, so I know where all the red dots truly are, okay?
Yeah. That's where all those YouTube pedophile hunters are getting their leads from.
Dude, it's...
Hey, not for nothing, I heard there's this creep who's coming in here every day buying some not so savory anime porn.
I'll never forget going to the Romantics, what was it, my freshman year at college, and an old man walking in there with a cane asking, you got any goat porn? I'll never
I went to Tijuana one summer and it changed everything.
I remember staring. As me and Bobby were in there together going through porn mags trying to figure out which ones we wanted to get. And that happened, and that look of what the fuck as we both looked up like,
Yeah.
After we just got done having a tallywhacker fight with the dildos.
Yeah. That makes you go, we should probably never look at porn again. Is that what it's going to warp? Because you start at the magazines like you guys where you're just looking at boobs. But eventually, after 45 years of looking at stuff, you eventually end up becoming...
I mean, this guy looked like he was 50 years of looking at stuff. Like, he was an old gentleman.
Yeah.
The fact that he had a cane, the Hunchback of Notre Dame look going, whoa.
And you know what? And that's what happens as you get older is you don't have time to beat around the bush. Pun intended.
He wanted to beat what was in the bush.
Yeah. He doesn't have that much time. He's got to crank out one more he's got to jar one loose one last time. So he just directly walks in. You got goat porn?
See, now, like, looking back on it, that guy might have died with that in his, like, DVD, VHS player if he got anything
that cane
we don't know.
up his ass.
Grandpa, we told you it's not a pogo stick.
Yeah, dude. And, like, you know, when he first started going into that store back in 1923.
I've been coming here since we were in Nam.
He's like, I'd like some pictures of the gals.
He just
got back.
He started so innocent. It was those like pinup girls on the postcards.
Yeah. He just put on dirty records. He was like, where it's just girls describing like, oh, I happened to just take my heel off and you can see my ankle. By golly, that's some hot stuff there, Toots.
Yeah. And by the 90s, he's like, by God, I lit a candle and got the Victoria's Secret ad.
Yeah. By God, have you seen this Tyra Banks? I've never seen a color girl like that before.
Grandpa! Did you get all that guy would? It would have been funny to ask him what his path was to that level of degeneracy. Just like, what have you done? Because I'm guessing it is a backlog.
I made the joke, but I guarantee you it's just one long boys' weekend in Tijuana one day, and he saw something that just
and donkeys weren't doing it anymore.
Yeah.
I need another animal.
Yeah.
Actually, let's be honest. It was Hoofs. He was a fan of Mr. Hands.
Right. Or he's a devil worshiper, and he needed a goat to fuck a woman, and he's like, Hail Satan!
This stuff's bad. I love it.
Yeah, you're a bad girl. You're getting me all horny.
I'm going to headbutt my belly.
You know what place gets people really horny, Nathan?
Puntedgame.com with the network that is free $99 for everybody to get the entire backlog. So go check that out at puntedgame.com. Also on youtube.com, go type in that search bar, Comic Wade Taylor, no spaces. Again, that's Comic Wade Taylor. You get clips of this show, his show, Not Worth the Time. You also get clips of that man's stand-up. So like and subscribe, get notifications there. Put that back on puntedgame.com. Get some merch.
That's right, everybody. Hop over to the Pun and Game shop where you can get t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, all sorts of cool stuff to represent your favorite shows here at puntandgame.com. And don't forget to use promo code WGAF. That's promo code WGAF, and that gets you free shipping at checkout.
I just went 2 blocks to see if they had a goat. We're out. Peace.
We need to monitor these goats, not me.